Okay, so let's take a look at this example for the paragraph location question. All right, so we're still dealing with our passage we had before. So like I said, this is the paragraph location question right here. It always has language like this. Which paragraph contains the following information? Or sometimes it might say which section contains the following information. So it'll say which paragraph contains the following information, or it'll say which section contains the following information. All right? And like I said, we're not going to do the question first because it doesn't go in order, and so many students do it first, especially if it appears first, like here. Here it appears first as 1, 2, 3, 4. And a lot of times in the past, it would appear first. And students would waste so much time trying to do this question first. All right, but we're not going to do it first. What we would do is we would do the matching question first, and then we would do the diagram question. And then we go back and do the paragraph location question, numbers 1 through 4. Now, as I explained in the strategy, what you want to do is we want to first look at the keywords in the paragraph location question. Like number 1, when I say keywords, right, let me be clear about that. I'm talking about nouns and verbs, subject, object, verb, all right, or subject, verb, object. That's what we're looking for, right? The subject and the object, the nouns and the verbs. So for number 1, we're talking about, we have early timekeeping invention and also something about cold temperatures. Those are the keywords that I would circle or I would underline, okay? For number 2, we're talking about geography, and then other noun, calendar, and then next, farming communities. Those are the words that I would underline or circle: geography, calendar, farming community. Number 3, pendulum clock. And number 4, simultaneous efforts. That means simultaneous means doing things at the same time. Simultaneous efforts of societies and using uniform hours. All right. So those are the keywords that I'm going to circle, and those are the keywords that I'm going to try to keep in mind while I'm doing the other questions. Okay. So now we've circled the keywords. Right. You circle the keywords on your paper. If you have the book like I recommend, you circle the keywords on your paper. Now we're going to skip it. We're going to leave it. We're going to leave the paragraph location question, and we would go do the matching question. Right? If you remember how to do a matching question, we have to look at the word, find the word Babylonians, read the sentence where we see Babylonians, and then see if that matches any of these questions right here. Right? So we would go and look at Babylonians, which is right here. It says the Babylonians began to measure time, introducing calendars to coordinate communal activities, to plan the shipment of goods, and in particular to regulate planting and harvesting. So they introduced calendars to coordinate communal activities, plan the shipment of goods, and regulate planting and harvesting. So Babylonians are, let's see, calendar equal months in length, nothing about that. 2 equal halves, no. Cabinet shape, no. Calendar to organize public events and work schedules, yes. So for number 8, we will put A for Babylonians, because organize public events and work schedules. It said they coordinated communal activities, that's organizing public events, and they regulated planting and harvesting and planned the shipment of goods, that's work schedules, right? So for number 8, we would put A. Number, let's go look for Egyptians. Here are Egyptians right here. The Egyptians had formulated a municipal calendar having 12 months of 30 days. All right, 12 months of 30 days. Okay, and we can see that's a match for right here. Civil calendar in which the months were equal in length. So number 5 would be A. Right, now I'm still keeping in mind my keywords for here, for the paragraph location. I still have those in my mind. Geography, farming, calendar, cold temperatures, early timekeeping invention, and uniform hours, simultaneous efforts. I still have those in my mind. Okay. Next, I'm looking at the Greeks. Here are the Greeks right here. Temporal hours, which were first adopted by the Greeks. That doesn't match anything. Divide it into 2 equal halves. No. Develop a new cabinet shape for the timekeeper. No. So Greeks doesn't match anything. English. Here's England right here. England is a substitute for English. The early, in paragraph F, where it says England, the earliest recorded weight-driven mechanical clock was built in 1283 in Bedfordshire in England. The revolutionary aspect of this new timekeeper. Okay, so we see that one. We see that England is a match for develop a new cabinet shape for a type of timekeeper. So number 7 would be England. Okay. And also, when I was in this paragraph, about England, right? When I was in this paragraph about England, okay, there's England right there. Yes, I see something about a pendulum clock. Right, I see something about a pendulum clock right here. Something about a pendulum clock. All right, when I was looking at that paragraph about England, that jumped out to me. So that means that number 3 is F. All right, the description of the origins of the pendulum clock. That's paragraph F. All right. Now I'm still doing my matching question. I'm down to the Germans and the French. All right. And I saw Germany as I was scanning through it. Oh, there it is. Paragraph E. Paragraph E. There's Germany. There's French. All right, so the sentence says, Italian hours begin at sunset, Babylonian hours at sunrise, astronomical hours at midday, and great clock hours used for some large public clocks in Germany at midnight. Eventually, these were superseded by small clock or French hours, which split the day into 2 12-hour periods, commencing at midnight. Also, what's helpful, this is really important if everyone wants to listen. What's also helpful for a paragraph location question is a lot of times you can look at the topic sentences, the first sentence of a paragraph, and that can give you a good idea if it matches also. Okay? Like here, when we look at the topic sentence of paragraph E, the first sentence, it says the advent of the mechanical clock meant that although it could be adjusted to maintain temporal hours, it was naturally suited to keeping equal ones. Right? Equal means uniform, equal hours. So a lot of times when you're doing a paragraph location question, if you're a little confused, it can be helpful to look at your topic sentences of paragraphs, because your topic sentences in general tell you what a paragraph is about. They tell you what a paragraph is about. And so if you look at your topic sentences many times, you can get an idea if that paragraph has the information that you're looking for a paragraph location question. Okay? All right. So that's for that. All right. And then afterwards, we would go down and do the diagram question. And we know this information is in this paragraph that says it has 1670. But when we look at this paragraph that has 1670, right? When we look at this paragraph, there's nothing in here about geography or farming. So we know that we know the information. I'm looking at paragraph G now. There's nothing about farming or nothing about that stuff there in paragraph G. and then so we have number 4. 4 is E. Number 4 is paragraph E with the French and the paragraph about the equal hours. And number 3 is F with the description of the pendulum clock. But that paragraph with 1670 talks about nothing about timekeeping and cold temperatures. Now, some of you might ask, well, how come paragraph E is not the right answer for number 1? Because number 1 talked about early timekeeping invention and also cold temperature, right? This does talk about when you look at paragraph F, you do see the word timekeeper, right? But you don't just pick an answer because you see the same word. There's no mention in this paragraph about cold temperature, and so that's why paragraph F cannot be the right answer for this one. Okay, we need a paragraph that's talking about cold temperature. All right, E, F, G are out. Paragraph D. Here's the word inventor. Right, here's the word inventor. Again, we're looking at the topic sentence. In order to track temporal hours during the day, inventors created sundials, which indicate time by the length or direction of the sun. So the inventors created a sundial. There's our early invention. Now let's see if we see anything in this paragraph about cold temperature. Here we go. Freezing weather. Freezing weather of Northern Europe. So in this paragraph D, we have an invention of the sundial, right? Invention of the sundial, and we have a mention of cold weather, freezing weather. So that means number 1 is paragraph D. All right, so now let's go to the first page and see if I can find something about geography, a calendar, and farming. I'm looking for a paragraph that mentions geography, calendar, and farming. I'm here in paragraph A. Okay, here we are, here paragraph B. Right here we see the word calendar. I'm in the third sentence. It says, hence the calendars, paragraph B, hence the calendars that were developed at the lower latitudes. Lower latitudes are talking about geography. And then the next sentence, in more northern climate, climb is short for climate. Again, we're talking about geography. And here we're talking about agriculture, which is farming. Okay, so paragraph B is the answer for number 2. All right, that's the answer for number 2. So our correct answers, again, number 1 was D, number 2 was paragraph B, number 3 was paragraph F, and number 4 is paragraph E. Okay, all right, so that's the proper method for doing a paragraph location question. All right. So what we're doing there is we're circling our keywords in the question, then leaving the paragraph location question and doing the other questions in the set, and then coming back to it. The reason why we go and do the other questions in the set is a lot of times they go in order, or they're much easier to do. And while we're doing the other questions, we're able to look at a lot of the passage. And after we've looked at a lot of the passage by doing the other questions, then going back to a paragraph location question makes it much, much easier to do and handle. Much easier to do. Okay? All right, so thanks a lot. And now let's go ahead and look at another example. Talk to you soon.